that is actually, if you think about it, the 13th note that you can play on that string, because your open string itself was actually the first note that you can play on that string. So your first fret is actually your second note. So 13 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 notes actually takes you to your 12th fret. Here's a question for you. If the name of your open string, your low open string, is E, and that's a note out of the musical alphabet, what do you suppose the name of this note is on your 12th fret? The 13th note above E. It's E again, right? Because wouldn't that be an octave? We've gone through our entire musical alphabet and we've come back to E again. E, F, remember there's no sharp and flat between E and F? E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat, A sharp, B flat, B, C, no sharp and flat between B and C, right? C sharp, D flat, D, D sharp, E flat, 13th note on the 12th fret, the double dotted fret is E. You've played one octave. Just by walking up that one string right there. But we don't have to stop there. Notice there's more frets above there, and we could even keep on going. Oops, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I run out of frets, but that doesn't even have to stop me. I can keep going. 12, 13. So even if your guitar only had one string on it, the low E string, you could still play every single note that the guitar is capable of playing right on that one string. But think about what a clumsy and crazy instrument that would be. You'd be running back and forth with your fingers on one string. You'd be up here making these tiny little movements with your fingers like millimeters apart. What a totally impractical instrument that would be. But nonetheless, it could be done. You can play all of your 12 notes for an infinite number of octaves on any string. Well, at some point in time, humans began to think about building multi-stringed instruments so that they could begin to play multiple notes at the same time. Chords and harmony and stuff like that. Well, think of it this way. As soon as you start contemplating building yourself a multi-stringed instrument, you owe it to yourself to come up with some kind of logical strategy for tuning the strings so that they have some kind of relationship to one another. I mean, I could just take these things and go boing, bong, bing, 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 and just put them anywhere, but then how would I ever have any systemization? How would I ever have any standardized control over these 12 notes right there? Well, you know, they're going, geez, we better tune this instrument so that it makes some kind of sense. Geez, what should we do? Well, one day, somebody got this cool idea. They went, you know, we can play all 12 notes just on one string like this. But that's kind of clumsy and awkward to keep having to jump your hands around on the neck like this. Since we're going to have this multi-stringed instrument, I got an idea. Why don't we do this? We'll start down here at the bottom of the string, and we'll go... and we'll just play up the 4 notes that we can play with our 4 fingers. And just when we run out of fingers, the very next note on the very next fret that we would like to be able to hear, that's the note that we'll tune the second string to. We'll tune the next string to that note that's on the 5th fret on this first string down here. And listen to this. If I put my finger here on the 5th fret on my low E string, now listen to my next open string. Do you hear that that's the same note? So how do you like that? The whole reason they did that was because just when you run out of fingers, with your 4 fingers, all you have to do is change to the next string. Listen to this one more time as I go up the neck on one string and play an octave. Now, that's the kind of clumsy and awkward way to do it. Now come back down here to the bottom of the neck and listen, doesn't this sound exactly the same? They decided to tune the strings of the guitar 4 notes apart because you have 4 fingers, and to play your way through the 12-note system, you just go up until you run out of fingers, and then you switch to the next string. And doing that on the guitar is exactly the same as doing this on the piano. You're just playing your way through the 12 notes in a sequence. Didn't that sound exactly like this? Oops. I'm not used to thinking about it that way. So that's why the guitar is tuned the way it is. It's tuned so that the strings are 4 notes apart because humans have 4 fingers on them. To play your way through all of those 12 notes is a pitch pattern. It's a particular type of scale called a chromatic scale. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard that before. That's what a chromatic scale is when you play through all of the 12 notes. Now, there's another way for us to prove that that's what's going on the neck of the guitar. We noticed by labeling the keys up here that there's 4 notes in between each string. Another way for us to prove that is you know your musical alphabet here. Let's take a look at that. That's what all these hieroglyphics I have down here at the bottom are. For example, you know that the low string on your guitar is tuned to E, which is this note right down here. So let me ask you this. When you put your index finger on the 1st fret on the low E string down here, so I'm playing my open string like this, and then I put my index finger on the 1st fret right there, what's the name of that note? It would be the note in the musical alphabet that is the very next note higher than E. What's that? Have you got your alphabet memorized? Is it E sharp? No, it's not. Remember, there's no sharp and flat between E and F? The note on the 1st fret on your low E string is F. E is the open string, your 1st fret is F. Now, when I put my 2nd finger down on the 2nd fret right there, what then would be the name of that note? It would be the next note higher than F in the musical alphabet. What's that? Hopefully you know that would be F sharp or G flat. And then I put my 3rd finger down on the next fret after that. What note would that be? That would be the next note higher, which you should know is G, right? Finally, on that string, I put my pinky down on that fret, on the next fret there. That would be the next note higher than G. What's that? It's G sharp, A flat. Now that was my pinky note, right? I just ran out of fingers on that string. E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. What is the name of the very next note higher than G sharp? G sharp, A flat. The very next note higher than that is A, isn't it? You're beginning your cycle back over again. Well, that's why your next guitar string is tuned to open A, because once you run out of fingers on your low E string, it's just time to switch to your next string, which is A. And, of course, these notes down here are just the 4 notes that you just played with your 4 fingers. Right like that. And just when you ran out of fingers, it was time to go on to A, your open A string.
Hi, I'm Scotty West, creator of the Absolutely Understand Guitar Video Home Study Program. Hey, thanks for all the positive feedback on our video guitar lessons. We're now uploading new lessons right from our DVD Home Study Program. Each lesson is 70 minutes long, but we've chopped them up into 10-minute chapters to fit on YouTube, so each lesson will have 7 chapters. It's critical that you watch these chapters in order. Make sure you start with Lesson 1, Chapter 1, then move to Lesson 1, Chapter 2, etc. When you've finished all the chapters for Lesson 1, then move on to Lesson 2. Hey, some of this stuff you might already know, and some of it's a little dry. You're going to wonder, do I really need to know this stuff? The answer is yes. Each one of these chapters contains little gems of information that nobody's told you yet, and these are the missing pieces that are preventing you from seeing the big picture. Don't cheat yourself out of these valuable realizations. Stick with the program. Also, consider our complete DVD home study program. Our high-resolution DVD video is much better than these fuzzy little YouTube clips, and you'll also get all our cool printed material too. So good luck with your music and enjoy the lessons.